Hey, and welcome back. This is a podcast for English learners who want to hear real, natural stories. Today, I want to talk about one big challenge when living abroad: the loneliness. Before I get into it, yes, living in another country is incredible. So I'm from the US, but I've been living in Japan for about 10 years now, and I can't imagine my life having gone any other way. But I also want to be honest with you, because living abroad isn't always easy. When I first moved to Japan, I was young. I was in my early 20s, and I was full of excitement. Everything felt like an adventure. Even the things that were hard felt exciting, maybe because they were hard. I was figuring out a new language, a new culture, new job, and there was this feeling of, look at me, I'm doing it, I'm living abroad. That feeling is real, and there is a kind of confidence you develop from living in a foreign country. You learn to problem solve in ways you never had to before. You become more patient, more resourceful. You stop taking for granted the things that used to be easy, like being able to read a menu, or make a phone call, or fill out a form without any help. But then, and this usually hits a few months in, the novelty starts to disappear, and you start to notice the hard parts. For me, the hardest part was always the time difference. My family and most of my close friends from home are in the US, which is about 13 hours behind Japan. Think about what that means. When something good happens, something I want to share right away, it's the middle of the night back home. When something goes wrong and I just want to hear a familiar voice, it's the same thing. You end up doing all this mental math all the time. Okay, it's 7 in the evening here, so it's about 6 in the morning there. I should wait. And sometimes the waiting builds up, and you realize you've gone weeks without a real conversation with somebody who knew you before you moved. That can feel pretty isolating. Making friends as an adult is also harder than people think. When you're in school, friendships kind of form automatically. You're in the same place every day with the same people. But as an adult living abroad, you have to actively build that. You have to put yourself in situations where you might meet people, which takes energy. Sometimes new friendships don't last for a long time, and that can feel very disappointing. I don't say any of this to be discouraging. I say it because I think if you're thinking about living abroad, or if you're already doing it and feeling this way, it really helps to know that it's normal. It doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. And humans need connection. And building that from scratch in a foreign place takes time. I think what helped me the most was, honestly, just staying. Putting in the years. The friendships I have in Japan now, with my partner, with colleagues, with people I've met through work and hobbies, and just living here, those are real. They took time to build, but now they're part of my life. And there's something else that happens over time, which is hard to explain, but I'll try. At some point, you stop feeling like a visitor. Japan, for example, stopped being the place that I moved to, and now it just feels like home. that feeling is really nice. So, yeah, living abroad is wonderful, and it's also lonely sometimes. Both of those things are completely true, and they can be true at the same time. If you're in the middle of the hard part right now, hang in there. It gets better. And if you're just dreaming about going abroad, do it. Just go in with an open mind and a positive attitude. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.